everybody and welcome to the channel. My name is X from X's Toy Universe and we've got Snaen's Deformation Series Cyber Battalion KO Megatron. So here you've got Megatron in all his shiny glory. So he's got a little bit of gunmetal going on and there's some die-cast parts in here as well. So this is essentially a redo of the Cyber Battalion series, which predated the Authentics line. Now he's a lot like, he basically looks a lot like the G2 Megatron, but the thing is you can't do the shoulder cannon thing on him. And the Snaen series essentially has die-cast parts. For this guy, his die-cast parts are here on the front of the chest. So as you can see, gunmetal gray there, very shiny. Okay, nowhere else is he die-cast as far as I know. Everything else is plastic. Now, this is a pretty cool figure. So, as you can see, lots of molded detail. They don't skimp out on the molded detail, but he is kind of a front presenter. From the back, he is kind of hollow. In fact, he looks like he's half done. But the thing is, if that doesn't bother you, then this is a pretty okay figure, to be honest. I like it as a Megatron figure. I was looking for this Megatron figure because I wanted a kind of minor Megatron figure that was different in look than the one that Hasbro put out. So that's why I ended up with this one. So yes, the fusion cannon is removable because it is part of the transformation, as with a lot of the Megatrons. Now let's take a look at the paint. So like I said, gunmetal here, red on the eyes, a little bit of a brownish gray on the head and the legs here, little bit of a dark gunmetal here on the barrel of the fusion cannon. There's a weird Transformers faction symbol there that is not really of any Transformers faction that I know of, but that's fine. I'm gonna cover that up anyway. Like I said, this is gonna be customized into a minor Megatron. Now there's a cool thing that the alt mode can do, that's why I chose this one. But let's take a look at the sculpt. So the head sculpt is a little wonky with a mouth. Like his mouth is like way down there for some reason. But otherwise, the sculpted detail is really nice. The tank treads are okay. You can see barrels on the tank treads, rims. Everything is nicely sculpted. As far as I know, it is a 1:1 of the Cyber Battalion figure. And yeah, so there you go. Now for articulation, his head is not on a ball joint, it's on just a 360. But there's a little bit of wiggly waggly, just a little bit. Yeah, not sure why that is. I think there's a gap, but it's not a bad thing. Like he can adjust, lower his head a little bit, put his head up a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. There's a joint here that allows you to bring his arms up on the side. This is mostly due to transformation. Now, you don't have a bicep swivel, you only have the arm bend. You don't have a wrist articulation either, but that continuity in the arms is gonna benefit the alt mode later on. I mean, I kind of wish it didn't just do that, like, but remember, it does come from a simple figure. So, of course, the fusion cannon can move because it's just sitting on a 5mm peg. There's no waist articulation. Hip articulation is on actual ratchets and just a knee bend here. There seems to be like a cut on the thigh, but there isn't. There's a little bit of ankle tilt, but it goes the other way around. So I'm not sure how you can use that. That's mostly for transformation. Now, for comparison with other figures, here he is with Siege Megatron with an Earthrise head. But yeah, so there you go. He's a little bit bigger, just a little bit. He's essentially a Voyager class figure as well. Now, will he take the fusion cannon? Yes, he will, because he has a 5mm port here on the side. So yeah, if you want to replace his fusion cannon for any reason, you can do that. You can take this fusion cannon, if you like it, and put it on this Megatron. There you go. Those are things you can do. And here he is next to Earthrise Optimus Prime. So he is a tad bigger as well. I mean, just like Megatron. As far as posing is concerned, I don't have a ton of issues posing him, even if he does lack in articulation. He still makes for some pretty great poses. So there you go. Now let's go ahead and transform him. It's very easy. Like I said, this is a KO of a budget figure, so it's intended to be simplified. So let's just go ahead and take his fusion cannon off, and then his legs, just splay them out like that, his feet rather. Then you're gonna wanna kind of simultaneously put his chest up, and put his legs down. There you go. And then this part, roll it around upwards, have them meet in the middle. Now what you're gonna want to do is don't settle everything just yet. You're gonna want to put the fusion cannon here where there's peg holes on either side so that you can set it up nicely, and then connect these two here, and then there's little pegs that fit on these notches. Just go ahead and do that. Clean everything up, and there you have his tank mode. Tank mode is actually really nice. It's a very, very, very solid tank mode, as you can see. Right, so yeah, it doesn't feel like a budget figure in tank mode. And let's go ahead and compare him to other figures in this month. So for comparison, here he is with the Siege tank. Honestly, I like this more. It's a lot more solid. As far as the foot is concerned, I don't see it as a foot sticking out because it's basically a missile deck. So it is convincing me that it's part of the vehicle mode, whereas I've never really been happy with this tank mode entirely. It feels like a person was splayed out into a tank mode, and yeah, but can kind of try to use this fusion cannon with this Megatron. Last time I tried it, it was weird, but there. So if you somehow want this fusion cannon for this Megatron, that works as well. No problem. You can do the same here. Only gonna be able to set on one peg hole at a time, but yeah, in terms of whether it works or not, it does work either way for both. While I have the cannon off, there's this fun thing that this Megatron can do, which is hide the fusion cannon. So if you have other weapons that you want to showcase for him, you can just basically flip it around. That's what he looks like. There are peg holes here, so if you want to add weapons, you can do that. So this is why I got him from Minor Megatron, because I can essentially put other weapons there without, you know, showing off his fusion cannon. Looks very much like an all-terrain type tank and less of an assault tank per se. So essentially it's on a double peg system like a lot of the Megatrons out there. Just to compare him with another tank, which is the Overlord tank. As you can see, he's just a wee bit longer. There you go. If I want to compare him to a deluxe car, it's essentially how he looks. Another deluxe car, which is Cyberverse RC. Optimus Prime. It has its flaws. It's a very basic figure, but as far as I'm concerned, it has a lot of wins as well. As among the KOs and the budget ones, this is one of the ones that work the nicest. Anyway, so yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at x_Paco. Thank you for watching this review of this KO of Megatron. Like and subscribe and follow for more. Most of my stuff is Ultra Magnus related, but as you know, I dabble from time to time in Transformer stuff and KOs and other stuff like that. If you're interested in any of that, go ahead and hit the bell button to know when I put up new stuff. Till next time, peace out.